Hey gods and goddesses, let's talk about Black Moon Lilith through the signs and through the houses. Make sure you check for both because they're both equally important. So Black Moon Lilith is a point in our charts that is calculated too, of course, but this reveals our hidden self, the parts of ourselves that we feel like would not be accepted by others, the parts that it was rejected by others, the taboo parts, the parts of our hidden personality. Also, Black Moon Lilith is associated with our deepest desires, our truest self, our hidden self, the parts that are unaccepted, our shadow self, the parts that we feel like are ugly, or the parts that we have suppressed because of another. This is what Black Moon Lilith represents, okay? And also everything that society forbids. So what society thinks is so-called normal is not actually normal. Black Moon Lilith is like, this is not normal. Black Moon Lilith is like starting your own revolution about what you think is right and how you will not be held down anymore. So also Black Moon Lilith is associated with the feminine energy, the darker side of the feminine energy, knowing that feminine energies, we too have desires, we too have these hidden parts of ourselves or parts of our personality that seem too dark or seem too not accepted because of the masculine side or the masculine energy or what society has tried to portray goddesses or women to be. Like, I am not a woman, I'm actually a goddess, and so are you. And that's why I always say, hey, gods and goddesses, because God and goddess lives within us all, and we should always speak our own revolution. And Black Moon Lilith, whatever sign it's in and whatever house it's in, this is your opportunity to speak for what is right and speak for what, society thinks that is not right, but it actually is. It's not a bad thing to have these desires. It's not a bad thing to feel rejected. It isn't a bad thing to have anger, feel rejection. Only because you're a woman, or you're a goddess, it sounds loud, it sounds, disrupting, it sounds controlling. That's what it sounds like. That's what Black Moon Lilith is like. No, it sounds controlling. All this rejection and this is abnormal and this. No, it sounds like suppression. It sounds like depression and like, no. Black Moon Lilith is like, no, you need to use your voice and speak for what's right. So make sure you check for the sign in the house. Okay, so Black Moon Lilith also represents, the dark feminine, but our independence, basically refusing to conform to what society wants you to conform to if it does not sit right with what is true to you, your truest desires. And also the influence of Lilith can reveal potential challenges when it comes to like sexuality. So the Black Moon Lilith can also indicate like sexual assault. It can indicate sexual attraction to something that is abnormal or something, whatever house is in, this is where you will find your sexual attraction. And it can be, abnormal. It can be like, oh gosh, I have attraction to animals. Like, these are things that Black Moon Lilith brings up. Even though that's seen as something that's abnormal, it may not be so sexual, but it can be in a way that I desire and I care for this more than the next. Wherever your Black Moon Lilith is, it's kind of like where you feel more connected to that part, or not connected to that part. You feel like, I need to speak up more about this is something I need to speak up about. And also these desires and impulses that Black Moon Lilith portrays or is known for, it actually comes from our deep subconscious desires. So our desires are going to be lived out, no matter if we're aware of it or not. Our desires are going to be lived out and influenced by whatever we soak up in our subconscious mind. Excuse me. And Black Moon Lilith just helps us like navigate those deeper parts of our psyche, like for growth and self-awareness, and most importantly to understand that we have our own rebellion that we must start within our own lives, wherever Black Moon Lilith is. Because this Black Moon Lilith can bring too fear. It can bring the feeling of anger, superstition. It can bring up a lot of like low vibrational energies around like envy, deepest desires and things of that nature, like fear. But it's really just trying to get you like to dig deeper into your own psyche for growth. Like, this sexual attraction to this, is it something that's actually a sexual attraction, or is it some type of trauma, rejection I have experienced around this desire, and now I just have an impulse around it. So Black Moon Lilith really is like the voice, that speaks to avoid criticism, that speaks to avoid, judgment, that speaks to just have more understanding of their own self and their desires, despite what other people may think, despite what other people may, want to follow. This is a very dark feminine energy of independence, and you must activate that, Black Moon Lilith, because Black Moon Lilith gives you that voice that you didn't feel like you had, that voice that you were feel like, oh wow, I couldn't speak up, and now you can speak up once you understand where your Black Moon Lilith is, where you've been suppressed, where you've been held down. Now it's time for you to speak about it, and now it's time for you to not be ashamed about your deepest desires, especially if you are a feminine energy. And even if you are a masculine energy, you have you have the yin and yang that exists within you. Do not let people put you in boxes, and that's what really like Black Moon Lilith is like. You will not be put in a box. I have broken out the box and I'm not going back in the box. My desires are my own. What I want from my life is my own. I should not depend on a masculine energy. I should not depend on a man. I should not depend on a woman. I don't need to depend on anyone. Everything that I have is existing within inside of me. And through darkness, through sitting in dark places and dark holes, or through that feeling of rejection, I have now burst out and realized, okay, I will not let anyone or society tell me what I should and should not do. I can make these decisions on my own, and I have the choice to make these decisions on my own. So let's go through Black Moon Lilith through the houses and through the signs. Okay, so Black Moon Lilith in Aries or within the first house. So Black Moon Lilith in Aries or within the first house, this, you could have feel like rejection. You could have feel like maybe you weren't taken seriously, or maybe your desires were not as big as it is, or maybe you could have feel like, oh, well, I'm self-centered. You could have feel selfishness. People could have put, these images around you to make it seem like you're selfish or you're self-centered. Or like everything that you do is wrong. Your approach is wrong. Your opinions are wrong, because the first house is the house of self. There could have been a lot of shame and fear around who you are as a person, or asserting yourself to this world. You can have a desire to, but people have instilled fear around you, and you may look at other people who maybe have Aries placements or who are dominating or assertive, and you're like, wow, how do they do that? I want to do that. I'm like that. And I feel like with Lilith though, as you mature in age, you do, you do understand, like you do get a little bit better. So as you mature in age, you see like, hey, as soon as I assert myself, this can be, well, sometimes it may take you to extreme behaviors, because anything that's within the first house, and we're talking about, Mars and things of that nature, this is already a desire and a drive to move forward, a passion to move forward. Black Moon Lilith is just like learning to accept these traits and doing them anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because this also can be said for Lilith in the first house, because if you have Lilith in the first house, or if you have Lilith in Aries, your rejection, or where you have feel suppressed, could have been your assertion to things. How can I make these things happen? What can I do about life? And your part is to do these things without apology, to do these things without saying, oh, I apologize for you feeling like you're self-centered, or making self-centered choices if it's affected by the next person. We are our own worst critics too, and like Lilith can be very critical. So Lilith and Aries, just spend time doing things and saying things without having an apology. Though it can come off as extremely aggressive, because like I said, Mars is aggressive, ready to fight type of behavior. And as soon as you take that assertion, this is how it comes off. So you would have to practice, doing things, saying, when is the right time to say things? When is the right time to take accountability for my life, what I'm doing? And it would be what? Accepting these traits about yourself, accepting, these desires, accepting, that you have to assert yourself to make these decisions. And that's Lilith in Aries. Once you find that voice, Lilith in Aries or Lilith in the first house, you cannot be told no. Like, no one can tell you stop. No one can tell you to do anything, because, hey, like, my voice is my own. And you gain, the first house is a house of independence, and you gain this independence. So, anything in the first house lights up the fourth house. So the fourth house, don't let your family, your mother, don't let relationships, business partnerships, or even your life path may be even affected by this Lilith too, because Lilith is our assertion, like our assertion to the world. It's the self, the body. And if you are unable to physically assert yourself because of, the harshness of other people and what they say, this can make you feel some type of way. Like maybe what I want is not, the best, or maybe what I want for myself, maybe I am being too self-centered, and maybe I am being too arrogant. But no, it isn't, because, Aries thinks about the self. Aries is, I am. It's warring for the self, you know what I'm saying? And Lilith is speaking up for the self. So this is a pretty powerful placement. I will say that, definitely work on your behavior too, because this can lead to extreme behaviors, because Lilith is extreme, and Aries is extreme. Putting those two together is like an extreme child, an extreme baby, and when it comes to asserting themselves and when they don't feel heard, when they don't feel heard, this is what happens. But Black Moon Lilith within the first house, I think it's pretty sweet, but definitely pay attention to those behaviors, because they can be, a little bit aggressive, and, that can have people seeing you as aggressive as well, even though your innate nature is to just be, hey, I'm the one, you are the lead, you are in charge, and that is like your position, and you must take your position, So that's Black Moon Lilith in the first house and in Aries. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Moon Lilith in Taurus or Black Moon Lilith in the second house. So Black Moon Lilith in Taurus or in the second could have felt shame for being indulgent, for not sharing, for holding on to possessions too tightly, maybe for way too long, being possessive about their possessions, and maybe enjoying themselves a little bit too much, like without apology, overindulgence and things of that nature, overindulgence of the senses, just doing things to feel good because maybe you don't feel good, or maybe you feel ashamed because of something. Excuse me. They can feel Lilith in Taurus, you can feel really guilty and wrong for doing things that can lead to all sorts of behaviors, like hoarding. It can lead to you just buying things out of the, just to feel good about yourself, because Black Moon Lilith, the thing is, it's the body, it's the beauty within the body that they have felt shame for, even purging too. It can lead to purging. These are not the, Black Moon Lilith in Taurus can lead to behaviors like having to purge, like, just living in extremes, buying too many things, overindulging, wanting to be comfortable, even throwing up, like I said, purging, because, you're just, you're eating to feel good about yourself, or, you're just overindulging, or you're doing too much of something, too much TV, and you're having a hard time, because you can have a hard time feeling satisfied, because nothing truly satisfies you, because possessions don't satisfy you. But Black Moon Lilith in the second house, this can be, you may have the fear of wanting, or the fear of going without, or the fear of not having these resources. So this is what makes you overly indulge, or overly hoard, or overly want to have possessions, or be possessive about your possessions. This can have been, maybe you have been punished, or maybe you have been like, kicked out or felt rejected when it comes to being slow, or maybe, savoring things, maybe eating too slow too, getting dressed too slow, you know what I'm saying? Enjoying things maybe a little bit too much. Maybe people have said, oh, this, and it, people have said little comments to you, and it made you think, it equates to your self-worth, because the second house is about self-worth as well. And this is all you trying to, really fill up that self-worth cup. But, when you have Lilith in Aries, and when you have Lilith in the second house, this is you taking back, like, but it's when you have Lilith in the second house, you have the ability to accumulate a lot of, possessions, a lot of materialistic possessions. You can have a lot of wealth, because you're able to, how it feels to not have these things, and now you're able to get them. And that's the power within the second house, because you're able to build your home up however you want. You're able to buy the things that you want. You're able to save when you need to save. And people can have made you feel like you weren't able to do those things, and you did do those things with your life, but now it's like maybe I don't really feel satisfied with those things because it was never supposed to make you feel satisfied, because it's based on your self-worth, and that's never like long lasting. So Lilith in the second house, you would have to realize, like, the second house is the house of the voice too. Like, you have the voice to speak these things, you have the voice to like combat these things, like Lilith will combat and will, strike that argument for independence, and you have this ability, and all you have to be, all you have to do is say, like, hey, I'm beautiful the way that I am. I love myself the way that I am. What I have, like, you wish you had these things, And that's where Lilith and Taurus comes from, because they're able to have a lot of things, accumulate a lot of things in life. And that's pretty good, but not at the expense of, your self-worth. You need to start telling people and proving to people, hey, like, I can have this even if I didn't want it, because I have this, I have Lilith in the second house that helps me accumulate things because I am independent. I speak up for what's right. And I really do like this space because, even though you hoard a lot of things, you can have a lot of things, so this can be really good for charity. You can give a lot of things too. Give a lot of things to your family. This can be criticism from family as well, because it's like Taurus is like, it's a family house. It's, about children, loyalty and things of that nature, and foundation. So, you could have feel like, wow, maybe I don't have enough. And when you do get enough, you don't really feel satisfied. So the Lilith in the second house is really focused on, you speaking up for your self-worth, because you are worth more than, these possessions. So that's all that I have for Lilith in Taurus in the second house. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Black Moon Lilith in Gemini or in the third house. So Black Moon Lilith in Gemini could have felt shame for speaking too much, or speaking too too little, or maybe being a little bit too gossipy, or speaking behind someone's back, or for their intelligence or their social skills. They can have felt shame behind those things, like, or shamed for by others, by siblings, because they're talking about the third house, aunts, uncles, family members, community, early childhood, school. They can have felt like, even Lilith in the third house, you can have had some type of speech problem, because even Lilith, actually in all these houses, there could have been like this when it comes to speaking, but definitely within Gemini, the speech, there was something that goes on with the speech, whether it was, not the ability to read, or, ability to speak, or some type of, what do you call it? Like vocal stunning. So these people can be social butterflies, or they can be someone who flaunts their intelligence a lot. I think as like Lilith and Gemini evolves, they really start to see how intelligent they actually are, and other people weren't that intelligent, so they would, they would stifle the Lilith and Gemini for what they had to say, because the Lilith and Gemini is a very curious person, very curious, wants to ask a lot of questions, wants to know a lot of things, but because if someone else doesn't know, and the Lilith and Gemini feels like, oh, well, now I have to flaunt my intelligence, and now I have to speak up about what I know, because, you know what I'm saying, you could have felt out of control when it comes to those things. So there can be a fear. This is a really big fear for Lilith and Gemini, of not being considered smart, not being considered intelligent, or not being considered intellectual, not being considered communicative, not having enough words, or enough, or, deeper enough conversation, just not being that social butterfly. They have this fear, and it can actually make them extremely angry, within words, like, hey, I'm going to lash out at people with the words that I do have. And there can have been shame in behavior too, like a feeling a little bit out of control. This can have been like fights between siblings, or fights with uncles and aunts, or fights with family members, or fights in school, early childhood, because these people are easily hurt by words, because Gemini is the word in the mind. So you can have fear of the mind, of people thinking things about you, or thinking negative things about you, or people thinking things about you that you don't want them to think about. You want them to see you in the way that you are saying that you want them to see you. And then when they see you in a different way, this brings up fear, this brings up shame. It's like, this is not what I'm saying, And I'm Black Moon Lilith within the third house too. This can be a lot about working on self-acceptance when it comes to like your environment. Like I said, like other people, they might not see you how you want to be seen, but you see yourself how you want to be seen. And really that's all that matters, because it's about practicing what you preach, right? And I will say, like, the feeling out of control and feeling like, oh, I have to go through extremes because I'm angry, and like these behaviors or these words that you throw out, at other people, or that's aimed at other people. Just know that, like, Black Moon Lilith in the third house is very intelligent. Black Moon Lilith in any house is extremely intelligent, but in Gemini, it's so intelligent to the point where it's picking apart its own like mental formulas and putting it back together. It's literally always thinking. Black Moon Lilith in Gemini is always thinking, always, or within the third house, always looking at ways to make themselves smarter, always looking at ways to flaunt their intelligence. These people are really, really intelligent, and they want you to know this, okay? But when people don't know this can cause them to act out in behaviors that are, angered, a lot of anger, but feeling hurt, acting out of hurt. So that's all I have for Black Moon Lilith and Gemini in the third house as well. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Lilith in Cancer. So Lilith in Cancer could have felt shame, or felt rejected by needing too much, feeling needy, feeling overly dependent for whatever reason. Feeling this makes them actually feel awkward, and they don't like other people who display these like attributes. Not caring enough, feeling like maybe I'm too independent, and this gets them really angry. Because their nurturing nature has been stifled in some way. This can have been in childhood, or this can be by the mother, and they could have felt like their own ability to nurture, was not expressed. Like they don't know how to express this, and it was stifled in not being done for them. So as a result, they're expressing their own nurturing, abilities, and caring for other people can be difficult for them at first, or it can feel like, like, what am I doing? This is too much, this can, if it's not received well, it can lead to like extreme behaviors, them, maybe these people are caregivers. They're the divine mother. Lilith in Cancer is a divine mother. They want to care for you. They need to nurture you. They want to take care of the family. And, early in childhood, or in these individuals' lives, this discomfort, of these behaviors that or people don't care about them, or they show that they don't have this like motherly instincts towards them. This causes a lot of, and like misgivings, like a lot of continuous cycles, because these people continuously give and give and give and not really receive. But it makes them angry, and they cannot stop the giving. You know what I'm saying? Like these people cannot stop the giving, and it doesn't make them feel empowered. And honestly, the key to this placement is to find self-acceptance so that you can feel empowered. Lilith in Gemini, Lilith in Cancer, your nurturing abilities were stifled in some way, and this can have you feeling uncomfortable when it comes to asking for help, when it comes to expressing your own, motherly instincts to the next person, and then you may be overly giving to them, or then you may have been overly giving to them, and then all of a sudden you just like get upset, you're mad now, and now you take it to these extremes because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to not want to take care of those that are around you and not those that are, with you, right? And, definitely give, because I feel like anything in Cancer is like the divine mother. Lilith in Cancer is a divine mother, but that is like, will not be suppressed. Like Cancer, Lilith will not be suppressed, and it's not going to let, Cancer's emotions control anything. You know what I'm saying? It's going to work with their emotions, but get them to understand like, hey, you're stifling your own growth, and it comes to you empowering yourself as the mother, as the caregiver. This is who you are. you don't have to feel ashamed for this, Lilith in Cancer, because it's who you are. People out there will love for you to take care of them. They will love for you to show them that motherly love that you were missing, but you can now give. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let other people feel like you're too dependent, or you're too needy, or you need mother, or you may want people to take care of you too. That's what it is. It can be you wanting to take care of them, or you wanting to have them take care of you. And wanting to have people take care of you, Live in Cancer, is not a bad thing. It's honestly a great thing, because other people out there, always, meet your divine, whoever you connect with, their soul connections. But there's a reflection out there that wants to take care, that is happy to, that shows up as this. They have no problem doing this. So don't let people feel like, oh, I'm too dependent, or I'm too needy, or things of that nature, because there are very needy people out there. And even if you are a masculine energy who has Lilith in Cancer, there are many women out there who want to take care of you, and same goes for women. There are men out there that want to take care of them, so they should always but yeah, Lilith in Cancer is extremely it's extremely emotional too. The emotions can really display in anger, and like destroying the house. I feel like this is the immature one. As you grow older, you start to see like, hey, not everyone, wants to take care of me. Everybody's focused on themselves. They want to take care of themselves. Everybody just thinks about themselves, what they can get for themselves. On the other side of Cancer is Capricorn, that is thinking about what they can accumulate. And Cancer is in the emotions, and Lilith is like, okay, we need to assert our dependence through these emotions or through these acts. And being needy is not a bad thing. Okay, Lilith in Cancer, that's all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was helpful. Definitely comment and like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. In Leo, so Lilith in Leo, you can have felt ashamed, or you can have felt rejected, or maybe like an outcast when it comes to feeling special, or calling yourself special, or seeking attention from others, or seeking the spotlight. This can have you trying to be better than others in competition. This can feel really uncomfortable where people are expressing like Leo traits, because this shame, or this discomfort can lead to a lot of extreme behaviors. This is a fire sign as well. Leo, you don't feel seen, you don't feel appreciated, you don't feel wanted. This can spark a lot of aggression from them, and these behaviors will like isolate the problem. You know what I'm saying? Them not feeling seen, not feeling or for like feeling, oh wow, I can't be in the spotlight, you know what I'm saying? Or I shouldn't be in the spotlight because others are in the spotlight, or I have to be better than others to be in the spotlight. And Lilith and Leo can need to find ways to accept their natural need for an applause, or their natural need for attention. I am a Leo sun. I do understand the need for attention, but sometimes you have to be your own star. And with Leo and Lilith, there is a demand. There is a demand for attention. There's a demand for acceptance by society. There's a demand to be accepted on stage, to be accepted as the main character. Lilith and Leo, you are the main character, and no one honestly needs to tell you this, because you know what place you hold, right? And by accepting yourself, by empowering yourself, and honestly doing everything in moderation, because Lilith and Leo can honestly, be extremely overindulgent too, because of the lack of feeling like, hey, maybe I'm not special enough, and trying to, accommodate in different ways. So definitely paying attention to those things. Self-acceptance, Leo. Accepting yourself like, hey, you can make your own stage. The whole world, this reality is your stage, Lilith and Leo. This is the Truman Show for you. Lilith and Leo, this is the Truman Show. Also, this could be Lilith in the first house too. Someone who is extremely overindulgent when it comes to dating too. These people can date a lot, and they can be demanding when it comes to who they're dating. Like, you are it or you're not. You're going to treat me like a king or queen, or you're not going to be in my life. And then being extremely demanding too. And there can be a lot of sexual partners too with Leo, and especially if you are a Leo masculine, a Leo masculine sun. if you have Leo and if you have Lilith and Leo and within the fifth house, this is a lot of dating. A lot of dating, a lot of sexual desires too, a lot of sexual partners, a lot of romantic partners, but you being, the demanding one, and them, honestly, maybe even to like fighting, domestic fighting too within like relational problems. I think as you go older, as you grow older, you mature and these things are not, so much a thing. But when, you're not unmature and you realize you have Leo and Leo and you realize all these people are ignoring you, you're like, no, this is not going to happen. And you start to, do these behaviors where you're seeking attention now and you're seeking the outside world's approval. And this is never a good thing, right? Lilith and Leo, it's always important to accept ourselves first, build up confidence within our own self and within our own voice. And everybody else is going to love us because they have no choice to. So that's Lilith in Leo, or Lilith in the fifth house. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Lilith in Virgo. Okay, so Lilith in Virgo has felt ashamed, or they felt off, or they felt, an abandonment, a sense of lack when it comes to them, feeling wrong about paying attention to, paying a special attention to like the practical side of life, paying attention to the details, paying attention to routines and organization skills and organizational workplaces and things of that nature. They can this actually does apply for Lilith in the sixth house as well, because this is a house of health, work, dis-ease. This is a house of health, mental, emotional, all of that. And they may go through pains when it comes to not feeling ordinary. This can lead to like mental pains, even heart pains too. This can lead to health problems earlier in life. But as Lilith within the Virgo, Lilith in Virgo is can experience like dis-ease, like STDs and things of that nature, because this is a house of health. And, Lilith is a sexual desire and the nature to explore these things and seek out these things. So this can be said to happen later. Happen earlier in life. So they may go through pains trying to prove they're not ordinary, or worried and eager to please the outside world, and considering all the details enough when it comes to making a project perfect, when it comes to perfecting a partner, when it comes to perfecting a craft. They want to perfect these. They want these things to be perfect going on into the outside world. So they can leave many, so they can be perfectionists, right? So they can leave many things behind because it is not perfect. It does not meet the expectations of Lilith in Virgo. And so they can deal a lot with, like, they can be on the opposite side of dealing like what is perfect, maybe not everything needs to be perfect, but them wanting to perfect everything. And this can lead to a lot of extreme behaviors when it comes to binging, purging, because it could be binge eating in the sixth house, and it causes like an it actually doesn't need to cause a health problem, but it does cause for you to, obsessively start eating something, or, it causes an imbalance because it's a sixth house. You're trying to balance out your mind, your heart, and things of that nature, and it causes you to be in balance. So you would definitely have to work on accepting yourself as you are, accepting those imperfect parts of yourself and parts in others, even though it's difficult. And it is important to pay attention to details. Oh my goodness, please pay attention to details, and don't ever let people make you feel ashamed for that. Wanting things to be perfect is not a shameful thing, but understanding that you are imperfect is the acceptance of thyself. And even though, like, it's like, even though I say, hey, you're not perfect, like, you can think you're perfect. Like, I think I'm perfect the way that I am. You know what I'm saying? And even this imperfect thing doesn't have to come up. But, Lilith in Virgo, it does come up a lot, because this is, Virgo is like this inside voice within the head too. It's, this criticizing too. And Lilith and Virgo can be extremely criticizing to, definitely work on self-acceptance and work on empowering thyself and empowering thy health. Dis-ease is, seen within this, this sixth house, so definitely pay attention to who you are interacting with, their health and things of that nature. So that's all I have for Lilith in Virgo in the Lilith in Virgo and Lilith in the sixth house. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Lilith in Libra, or Lilith in the seventh house. Okay, so Lilith in Libra or Lilith in the seventh house can have felt ashamed for needing, they can have felt ashamed, or they can have felt like rejected when it comes to needing compromise, when it needing approval, or seeking, acceptance from the other person, or companionship or unionship for the need of another person. And, Lilith is very independent, but Libra is like, I would like another person, to depend on, you know what I'm saying? Or I would like another person to add to me as a connection. Libra is a very union type of sign, but Lilith is a independent type of sign. So, these people can feel like, compromising is weak, or they can have told that it was weak or it's not right, but they do have a desire to see these things through, like to see if it is actually that. And honestly, Lilith in the seventh house, this can be a lot of sexual partners too, a lot of interest in different partners. Even when it comes to seeking, even a lot of manipulation too, to get what you want, like using your charming nature to speak what you want, to get what you want from others. This can make these people can feel uncomfortable when it seems, when they need those things, when they need, companionship and unionship, but they are independent and they are manipulating people, but not manipulating people to manipulate them, but manipulating them because they were told earlier in life that, being too dependent or needing someone else too much or compromising was weak or was shameful. So now these people speak to get what they want from other people. Seventh house is the house of other people. And when it comes to, like, you would, with this placement, of course, you would definitely have to accept yourself as you are, but you would have to accept, these extremes or these behaviors or these needs, because as a result, this can create a cycle of problems within relationships, because you're constantly in a relationship but you feel like you don't need them. It doesn't make the other person feel right. And unionships require work, and Lilith, I don't know, she's able to, like, she wants to do the work, but she will if she desires it, you know what I'm saying? So if you desire it, you will put in the work. Working on self-acceptance is the key to your empowerment. Lilith in the seventh house, because once you accept yourself, you can accept another person as they are, and you don't need to change them, you don't need to charm them, because they're charming as they are, and you're charming as you are. And being dependent on another person or wanting to feel wanted or needed by another person is never anything to be ashamed for, but you definitely must want and need and depend on yourself first. So that's Lilith in Libra in the seventh house too. Lilith in the seventh house and Lilith in Libra. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Lilith in Scorpio. I was about to say Lilith in Scorpio or Lilith in the eighth house. Okay, so Lilith in Scorpio can have felt ashamed for the need or the natural need of intimacy, the natural need of sexual activity, the natural need to merge with the next person in order to connect with them, emotionally, feeling attached to another person, going in depth with another person. They can feel ashamed for this natural need. And they can feel wrong by, being expressing jealousy or expressing possessiveness or even attachment to another person, or or that you need another person. Okay, and this can make them feel extremely uncomfortable to be around people, or to be compassionate, or to become attached to another person, because they can lack self-acceptance, lack self-awareness, or understanding what they truly desire is okay to desire. This Lilith is the desires, and the eighth house is the house of desires, but your desires can be so extreme. You know what I'm saying? That this can be you it it leads to extremes behavior, whether it's like too much masturbation or too much sexual activity, you know, or it's too much wanting to have sex with another person and wanting to, but you're not actually building that intimacy, like you're not actually building that connection to the next person. This is a lot of, you know, desire to feel whole within the, you know, sacral chakra. But this can lead to a lot of extremes when it comes to possessiveness, when it comes to now this person belongs to me, or now this person is, you know, merged within me. And they can have a problem with that as well. You know, empowering themselves will inquire or will involve, you know, self-acceptance is definitely going to involve, you know, you empowering yourself and understanding that all these things are natural. But to excessively do these things, you know, to excessively have sex with another person or to excessively crave intimacy, but you're not actually getting it, you're not fulfilling it, or you're feeling ashamed because you need these things. This is extreme behavior because, you know, Scorpio is already, you know, extremely possessive and controlling, see to be controlling. Lilith in Scorpio is pretty tough, you know, it's pretty tough. It is. But I do feel like, you know, as you mature as Lilith in Scorpio, you will find that being jealous is completely normal. But it all depends on how we are expressing it and how we're dealing with it. Some people are overly emotional than others, are overly jealous than others, you know, overly you know, compassionate, overly passionate about things. And it's all about balancing out these things, you know, balancing out the need for intimacy, the need for connection, or even the need to indulge sexually. You know, these are not things to be ashamed of, but there is something, you know, safe, you know, because you must be safe about these things. Definitely learn about like the sexual organs. I will say learn about the sexual organs, you know, learn about human anatomy with this placement. This can be really beneficial when it comes to Lilith in the 8th house too, because also when it comes to shared 8th house is about like our shared resources, other people's money, inheritance, and Lilith and Scorpio can have they can feel like, because they depend on another person when it comes to money, they can depend on another person when it comes to money, or other people depending on them. They know how that feels now, and they don't want to do it again, or they felt ashamed for doing it. And just being attached to another person for you know, a long amount of time can have these people feeling uncomfortable. So that's Lilith in Scorpio and Lilith in the 8th house. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Lilith in Sagittarius. Okay, Lilith in Sagittarius. I've been recording for way too long. Lilith in Sagittarius, or Lilith in the 9th house, okay, they could have felt ashamed for their curiosity, their questions, their bigger than life attitude, their approach to life, you know, like they could have felt ashamed, stifled in this way. You know, their restlessness, they can have felt restlessness because of this. They need to challenge and question life, question the facts, question the beliefs, question the meaning of life, you know, or the need to get away, to expand, to seek meaning. They could feel really uncomfortable around people and who are expressing these type of traits too, because they're not quite trusting in them. They don't quite see it themselves yet. It doesn't spark their desire yet. But as they get older, it will spark their desire, it will spark their interest, and they will start their own rebellion around their belief system, around what life is, what is true to them. And so feeling, you know, stress within these areas, this can lead to extreme behaviors. This can lead to, I don't want to say extreme behaviors, but it can lead to like extreme studies. You know what I'm saying? Extreme studies about higher knowledge, about higher learning, but to the point where you get yourself angry about what you've been lied to, about what you haven't been told, and secrets and lies and all of these things when it comes to life and life's approaches. Like, hey, life is a journey, and it's been right. The answers have been right in front of us, and we've been lied to. And so, you know, they can have, this anger can have been sparked by it's them seeing it in another person. They see another person searching for you know, answers about life, and now it gets them to, you know, want to seek meaning about life too, but it coming them Lilith in the ninth house, it can be extremely obsessive, but also angered by lies, and deception, and the ability to because the ninth house is about like court systems and too, seventh house too, but like the systems that has been passed down to us, they can be angered by these, or comfortable wanting to rebel against them, because what does it actually mean? And Lilith in the ninth house, I think, is extremely powerful too. Like, you can learn a lot, because Lilith is searching for all these information to free herself, and Sagittarius is free, and seeking and searching will do best, in accepting themselves as they are, and what they have been told, and things of that nature, and like accepting the lies as it is, knowing that you don't have to accept it into your system, into your law system, and what you speak over your life, but there is a system put up in place that really does it is outside of you, with Lilith and Sagittarius. So you understanding that, and you empowering yourself and empowering the systems that you put in your own life, will help bring down that anger, and this is anger like that is associated with beliefs, it's not anger, but also this could be a sexual attraction to people that are outside of your culture. You want to explore people that do not that are not from your species and things of that nature. Like, you want to explore different types of cultures and different types of people, and have those encounters in different lands and stuff. So Lilith in Sagittarius, that's all I have for you, and Lilith in the ninth house as well. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Lilith in Capricorn. Okay, so Lilith in Capricorn could have felt ashamed, or they can feel wrong, or the desire to excel, or they could have wrong for their desire to excel, their desire to achieve, their desire to master, their desire to be something in life, their desire to have worldly possession, worldly goals, to achieve things. They can have felt ashamed for their own ambitions. Isn't that something? Live in Capricorn, right? And they can feel uncomfortable around people who seem materialistically like wealthy, people who have status, and people who are conscious about their status, and people who have consciously got to achieve their goals. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can feel uncomfortable by people like this, and because they want to be this, you know what I'm saying? Or they feel ashamed by this, partially because they are people who find it hard to connect with their own ambitions, though they want to. They find the need for other self-esteems, going in and allowing others to like change their life direction, because they're unsure of their own. So they're not following behind other people, but people who have achieved success, they are really eager to learn from them, and maybe even eager to do it the way that they do it, even though Lilith is her own way. Lilith is trying to teach you have your own way, Lilith in Capricorn. Okay, on the other side, this can be you going to extreme behaviors too. Capricorn is already a sign, because it's ruled by Saturn, of fear and things of that nature, of delays and things, but this can bring them to real bad behaviors. Like, I wouldn't say bad behavior, negative behaviors, because they are fighting for a position in life. They're fighting for their own position. They're fighting to feel comfortable. You have to accept yourself as you are. Take everything in moderation. Understand there will be delays, and there will be mishaps, especially with Lilith in the 10th house as well. Lilith and Capricorn, you will receive the recognition that you deserve. You will, because you will take head charge. You will, but you can desire people within the workplace. This can lead to problems. You can desire, you can start, things within the workplace, gossiping, or you can start a rebellion within the workplace where you're like, this is my, this is my work, or this is my, position, and things of that nature. And I feel like Lilith in the 10th house, Lilith in Capricorn could feel ashamed for wanting these things, but Lilith in the 10th house is going to get these things because they have the desire to. they have the desire to. So that's what makes them a little bit different, right? Lilith and Capricorn, they want to get there. They see other people have got there, and that's where they look at for, self-esteem, things of that nature. But in the 10th house, Lilith in the 10th house, or Lilith in Capricorn, even as well, because, it rules over the 10th. They desire to have status, and they will have status in life, but it may come with like some tips and tack, because it can, people can desire them within their workplace. They can desire them, even the father. They can have an attraction to the father, Lilith, or some type of masculine energy. They can have an attraction to the masculine energy, but to control them, to tell them what to do, like to sway them in a different direction. That's really funny. So Lilith in the 10th house will have to work on self-acceptance, awareness, self-mastery, because you will be recognized for anything that you put into the workplace. So that's all I have for Lilith in Capricorn and Lilith in the 10th house. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. In Aquarius or in the 11th house. So Lilith in Aquarius can have felt ashamed or stifled when it comes to wanting and needing to be a part of a community, a part of a group, or needing to portray their ideas when it comes to humanity, like what they can do for the world and what they can offer to the world, or wanting to be a part of a group or a part of a team. They can feel like they're one out of the crowd, like sitting by themselves in a crowd. And the answer to these problems or to these needs, wanting to feel like you're part of something bigger than yourself, wanting to feel like you're part of something bigger than you, wanting to feel like you're helping the world, live in Aquarius. So, Aquarius is an energy that's ready, like, hey, this is a rebellion. This is the sign of humanity. And Lilith is the rebellion. So this is about you gaining your independence. Realize you are independent within a group. You are uniquely yourself within a group. And that's why you stand out, because it's your destiny to stand out. And hiding away is not going to really help the situation. And, not going out, not being involved in your community, it's not going to, don't hide away from it. Don't shy away from it. It is your right to be a part of these things. It's your right to be like, to feel like you are needed for, society. You are needed to change the world in some way. Live in the 11th house. This can be you. There comes a certain level of acceptance, this level of acceptance that you are odd, you're weird. Lilith is the person who does stand out, does look apart. So is Aquarius. Understanding that, because this is the 11th house, and that is why people may see you differently. You may feel like they see you differently, or you may feel like they won't accept those things about you, or you feel like you are maybe not as like-minded as they are. You just have to strive and desire for independence and to fulfill your goals, your wishes. And you don't need to feel bad about it. You don't need to hide away from it. You need to just be yourself and be a part of a group. We are a part of a whole as well. Lilith in the 11th house can bring a lot of, I think Lilith in the 11th house can bring a lot of, fear and like emotions around your life, your not your life, but like your wishes in life, your goals, like your dreams, to society. There is this fear. There is this like, can I do it? And do I have to do it with other people? And you may want to hide it from this, because it's like, I don't want to do this with other people. There is this need to strike this independence, but also this need to know that you're a part of a whole. So Lilith in the 11th house is a bit, it's a bit tricky, I think, though. But I think that, accepting yourself will help you empower the next person, because even though you feel like the society doesn't see you, they see you. Lilith in 11th house. This can bring fame too within, like the online world. They see you. Live in Aquarius, you're seen a lot within the 11th house, because it's like the internet, the data, and things of that nature. You putting yourself out there is actually most beneficial, even if you're the only one with like a black hat on or something like that. Even if you stand apart, you're needed. You have, this is actually a really great placement. I said it was tricky, didn't I? Or I said it was pretty odd, but honestly it's pretty grand because you will look different. Live in Aquarius, you will look different, or your style will be different. You know what I'm saying? Something about you, your essence, your aura will be different, but it's for you to stand out in a whole and realize that, you know, Aquarius is this unique type of energy. And yeah, and there's no reason to hide yourself away because of this, because you are not odd. Everyone else is odd. So that's all I have for Lilith in Aquarius and Lilith in the 11th house. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Lilith in Pisces or Lilith in the 12th house. Okay, so Lilith in Pisces, Lilith in the 12th. These people can feel ashamed or rejected when it comes to being needy, you know, too wishy-washy, too compassionate, too spiritual, too like in la la land, you know, too much of this. And they can feel uncomfortable around people who are, or annoyed by people who are resisting labels, you know, people who are not assertive and ready to take the lead. You know, they're rejecting or feeling ashamed by their basic needs in this area of life, which would be the 12th house in your dreams, you know, and your ability to be compassionate and your ability to be selfless can lead to extreme behaviors, you know, self-indulgent. We're talking about 12th house can lead you in jail, can lead you into hospitals and mental hospitals. They can lead you in not the best situations because, you know, Lilith is that rebellion. The 12th house is like closings, endings, but it's also like the mediumship. It being in Pisces, you have to do everything in moderation, understanding that everything must be done in moderation. And, you know, feeling ashamed or rejected can lead to these extreme behaviors, you know, binging and just overly indulging in these things. Live in the 12th house. You self-acceptance is key. Be selfing yourself as being compassionate. You are compassionate, you are loving, you are the spiritual guru, you are everything in the 12th house. This is you, but don't let Lilith is the rebellion. So excuse me, Lilith can put you in these places. I don't want to say dark holes, dark people, but 12th house, in my opinion, is the void. It's where you see beyond the veil. And constantly seeing these things can be, constantly seeing these things can be like, what is that word? You may think that other people see it too. Anytime that people have like 12th house placements, their mind is altered. Their consciousness is altered to where they see into different realities. As I'm looking into the camera now, these people can see into different realities. And sometimes it makes them rebel at people who are like, you know, it makes them like get annoyed by people who are like not so in tune with their spiritual side. They don't understand that there is a way out. Their desires are just in reach. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to meditate on it. You got to really focus on it. You got to really put in passions and energy behind these things. And people who have lived in Pisces or live within the 12th house really understand this nature. And they can have these people can have sex a lot within their dreams. They can have sexual desires in their dreams. They can have sex with people in their dreams, in the astral world. People who are gone and people who have passed on, they can see these people. This is mediumship. I do think mediumship, honestly, you can see Lilith. You can have seen like a feminine figure if you have Lilith in Pisces or Lilith in the 12th house. You can have seen this feminine creature come to you in your dreams, or maybe out the side of your eye, or maybe while you're awake. Even people who have live in the 12th or live in Pisces, they want to alter their consciousness. They want to alter the way that they see the world, whether through drugs, you know, whether through any type of medicines, you know, this can be ayahuasca, peyote, anything like that, you know, what is it called? Like Campbell, they can use a lot of those, you know, ancient medicines to be able to see into the different worlds, or see, you know, their way out, or to reach their desires, or to reach their needs, to gain independence, you know, spells. They can cast a lot of spells. Live in Pisces, like they can do so many things with their spiritual side, but them being seen as like too lily, oh gosh, I can't even get it out. just too lollygaggy. You know what I'm saying? They can have altars within their home. They truly believe in the essence of their spiritual realm, and they try, to bring it down into the physical realm and make it into something. But um, it is accepting that part of themselves, because like I said, some of us have placements where our consciousness is actually altered. We can see things other people can't see, and it's different for everyone. You know what I'm saying? People have powers and gifts in different areas of their life, and it's so important to learn astrology so you can learn your gift and passion. Lilith in the 12th house or in Pisces is honestly a perfect, and honestly, I wouldn't say perfect, but I do think that being overly compassionate, and then Lilith speaking about what's mine is mine, and my desires are my own, and I have the right to this, and speaking up for what is right. I think that it can be extremely helpful. You know what I'm saying? But it also can hinder you when it comes to you feeling ashamed. Now you feel maybe too, like too sad, and your behaviors are extremely your behaviors are acting out in not the best way. So that's what I have for Lilith in Pisces and Lilith within the 12th house. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.